What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today let's talk about Morab possibly fighting Petr Yan next but not at the White House. Following UFC 324, some fans started to question whether the UFC would add Ali into the title picture after his recent win. However, it looks like Morab has shut down those talks and revealed some new information. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. We really appreciate it. During a recent interview with Full Violence, Morab revealed that the UFC guaranteed him a title shot next. He also mentioned that he will not be fighting on the UFC White House card, but he does not seem to mind whether he is on that card or not.
I think it's for sure UFC tell me this. I'm a next for the title. They saw my hard work and then I beat Petr in 2023. He beat me 2025.
The White House, Petr Yan versus Zaroor.
Yeah, but they told me this. Our fight, it's not gonna be in White House. But listen, guys, I don't care. White House, Black House, just UFC, Apex, whatever it is, I'm fine. Or my backyard. As long as it's UFC, I'm fine, you know.
This all sounds amazing, right? Well, we have some unfortunate news. Yesterday it was revealed that Petr Yan underwent a 9-hour surgical procedure. He shared an update on his Instagram story saying, "I was under anesthesia for 9 hours. I had surgery on my lower back yesterday. Give me a couple of months and I will be back in action." Right now we do not know exactly what Yan was dealing with, but since it was lower back surgery, he could be out for 6 months or even longer depending on his recovery. If that is the case, does Morab consider taking another fight in the meantime, or is he willing to wait for Yan and run it back sometime this summer or maybe even in the fall? Moving on, Charles Oliveira believes Arman Tsarukyan would beat Ilia Topuria. In a recent interview, Charles said that if Arman fights the way he usually does by applying pressure and securing takedowns, he would win the fight. However, if he decides to stand and trade, he believes Arman would get knocked out. According to Charles, the key is wrestling and control on the ground. As many fans remember, Charles criticized himself for standing and trading with Ilia when they fought at UFC 317 where he was knocked out. He said that if he had followed his coach's game plan instead of trying to exchange strikes, he would have had a better chance of winning. In the same interview, Charles also spoke about preparing for his next fight. In just over a month, he is set to face Max Holloway at UFC 326 on March 7th for the BMF title. When asked how he feels, he said that he is happy with how training is going and that his mind and spirit are in a great place. He hopes to stay focused so that on fight night he can do what he was born to do. Charles mentioned that his team is studying and building the best possible game plan. At the same time, he understands that fans enjoy his aggressive style where he pressures opponents and hunts for finishes. That mindset can be exciting, but it can also be risky, as one mistake can change the entire fight. Charles also expressed interest in fighting on the UFC White House card. He said that fighting at the White House would be historic and something truly special. However, there are many factors involved, including whether Topuria moves up in weight. If that happens, the belt could become vacant, which would change the title picture. For now, Charles says his full focus remains on Max and delivering a big performance that could put him in position for a future opportunity. Now for some UFC updates. With UFC 325 fight week underway, here is what is happening. Cub Swanson has revealed that he will face Nate Landwehr at UFC 327 in Miami. Swanson is coming off a win over Billy Quarantillo and currently holds a 15-10 record in the UFC. Landwehr is on a 2-fight losing streak and sits at 5-5 in the promotion. Next at UFC Seattle on March 28, Bruno Lopez will take on Navajo Sterling at light heavyweight. Lopez earned his contract on Dana White's Contender Series in 2024 and is currently 1-1 in the UFC. Sterling is undefeated at 8-0 with 3 wins in the UFC. Finally, Cameron Smotherman posted another update following the weigh-in incident at UFC 324 where he collapsed. He previously assured fans he was okay and planned to undergo further testing. In his latest video, he continues to update fans as he looks for answers regarding what happened.
Hey, you know, people still checking on me. But, you know, I'm all right, man. I ain't gonna sit around crying forever. But I thought about it, though. I need an electrolyte sponsorship. So, you know, Element, somebody. Sponsor me and my young bull here. Hey, man, sponsor us, please. We need electrolytes, clearly. We're dying over here.
Hey, man, please sponsor us. We clearly need electrolytes because we are barely surviving over here. And finally, for the UFC updates, Paramount has revealed a huge number related to UFC 324 sort of. We recently reported that the event peaked at 5.93 million concurrent streams. Now, according to Business Insider, Paramount gained around 1 million new subscribers on the day of UFC 324. That is a massive number and shows just how big the event really was. Moving on, Diego Lopes has fired back at the MMA community. Ahead of his fight this weekend, Diego addressed the backlash surrounding his rematch with Alexander Volkanovski. Some fans were unhappy that the UFC granted Lopes an immediate rematch and argued that other contenders in the featherweight division were more deserving. Many fans pointed to fighters like Movsar Evloev and Lerone Murphy, who are both undefeated. In particular, Evloev holds notable wins over Aljamain Sterling and even Diego Lopes himself. Now Diego has responded directly to those critics and made it clear how he feels about the rematch and the opportunity in front of him.
Ask the people, I think the people never is happy, you know. If UFC send the chance for Movsar, the people start the question, oh, but this guy no fight for 1 year, never finish the fight. You agreed? Okay. If UFC send the chance for Lerone Murphy, oh, but he beat one guy outside from UFC. So the people never is happy with nothing, you know. So this is the truth. The UFC send him the chance, or he beat the guy number 10, like it's never happened.
While Diego Lopes makes some fair points, it is still easy to argue that Movsar Evloev may deserve the title shot more. Diego previously lost to Evloev in a competitive fight that went to a decision, and over time you could clearly see the difference in control. Lopes started strong but faded as Evloev began to take over. That fight happened a few years ago, so it would be interesting to see how much Diego has improved since then. Circling back to Charles Oliveira and his recent interview, he believes Diego will defeat Alexander Volkanovski at UFC 325. While acknowledging that Volkanovski is still a very tough matchup, Charles thinks Diego's speed and aggression will be the difference. He said that without bias he believes Diego wins because he is improving quickly and brings aggression, strong jiu-jitsu, powerful striking and constant pressure. In his view, Diego's hunger and style could carry him to victory this time. Now shifting gears, there is talk about Islam Makhachev possibly facing Ian Gary next. During an interview with MMA Junkie reporter Mike Bone, Islam's manager Ali Abdelaziz revealed that the UFC may be targeting Islam versus Ian Gary instead of Kamaru Usman. According to Ali, both Islam and Usman want to fight each other, but the UFC appears to have different plans. He mentioned 2 possible dates: in May at the Credential Center in New York, New Jersey, or in June at the UFC White House event. Ali questioned the matchup with Gary, pointing out that Ian recently lost to Shavkat and was nearly finished in another bout. He said the numbers do not add up in his opinion, and that while this is his side of the story, the UFC likely has its own perspective. Ian Gary also responded on Instagram praising Islam as one of the most dangerous fighters in the world. However, he made it clear that he believes he will be the one to dethrone him if the fight does happen.
Islam Makhachev is one of the greatest fighters walking the planet Earth right now. The #1 pound-for-pound fighter on the planet, a 2-weight world champion, former Sambo world and European champion. He's absolutely unbelievable at what he does. He is one of the most dangerous men walking the planet right now. When you beat Islam, it changes the way everyone in the world thinks about it.
Dana White recently made it clear that he prefers the flyweight division over heavyweight. Years ago there were serious talks about the UFC shutting down the flyweight division. The weight class was struggling with attention and pay-per-view appeal, and many believed it might be removed entirely. However, hardcore fans pushed back heavily and the UFC ultimately decided to keep it. Now it seems that decision paid off. During a recent Q&A with CBS Mornings, Dana was asked whether he prefers heavyweights or flyweights. His answer suggested that he appreciates the speed, skill, and non-stop action that the lighter weight classes bring. Over the years, the flyweight division has produced high-level talent and exciting fights, which has helped change the perception that lighter fighters cannot headline big events. While heavyweights will always bring knockout power and star appeal, Dana appears to genuinely enjoy the pace and technique that flyweights showcase inside the octagon.
Or at least the process was a few, kind of after the last fight, waited about 5-6 weeks, and then Ali told me basically, I was going to be released, and I started, searching and thinking what I wanted to do with my career. I beat a lot of guys in, other organizations, even this organization, but the main thing was to go up to featherweight, to, rebrand, and I want to show Patchy 2.0. I haven't had fun in a long time because I'm just cutting so much weight to make the weight. So I think this transition is going to be important for my career. Ryzen was a no-brainer. Like, if they gave me a choice, I wanted to come here because I fought here in 2019 and it was amazing. So I wanted to come back. I love the Japanese fans. I watch Ryzen, for years, even after fighting in it. So it was a no-brainer for me.
And that is going to wrap up the video for today. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. We will see you all tomorrow.
Or knockout, what would you choose?
Well, that's a tough one.
Both are great. I mean, when you have a great fight between two submission artists and somebody pulls it off, it's the equivalent of a knockout in boxing. But being a former boxing guy, I'll go with the knockout.
Dana White's Contender Series or Fight Nights?
Contender Series, my favorite. I love it.
Coffee or energy drinks?
Energy drinks. I hate the taste of coffee.
Early mornings or late nights?
Late nights.
Are you a heavyweight or a flyweight guy?
That's a good question. That's a great question, actually. I'm a flyweight guy.
Instagram or TikTok?
Instagram.
Cold plunge or a sauna?
Both. You can't just have one. You got to do both.
Great.
I cold plunged this morning, though. I didn't sauna. I cold plunged.